Welcome to the MetaFit Hit Zone work.
Sweet. Right, today I've got a full body mash up. I was going to say mix up, but it sounds like something went wrong. So I don't know if you saw my last live. So yesterday I had a rest day. Live before that, absolutely destroyed myself in cardio. I was really feeling low on iron after that, let me tell you. Symptoms have been fine, but then I feel like it takes me a very long time to recover from cardio activity. So today we are doing some strength training. We've got flies, chest flies. I'm going to start with the forwards, first round, a little bit warm until we get warm. So forwards for the chest flies, really good for posture. It's a chest opener. Then skull crushers, same way. Then V-sit over dumbbell. So I'll use the 10s for that because I'm not doing flies with the 10s. No, thank you. And then knees up crunch. So that's round one. It's in a matrix format. Round two is 3 pairs of exercises performed 3 times. Work rest timing's getting more difficult and progressive. So the bench will need to come up. Seated shoulder press, got the 10s out. I was going to get the 14s out, but I don't think it's needed. Lateral raises with the 4s, that's your first pair. Second pair, reverse cable flies. If you've not got flies, you can do dumbbell flies. Forearm taps are really good for the back to the arms. You know, they're called forearm taps. Then the last pair of exercises in this round is Russian twist and Arnold press. Love an Arnold. Then, sorry, sneezing as usual. Then round 3 is 4 sets of exercise. There is a rest in between about 20 seconds, a minute on each. We have push-ups, any variation. Good morning, Gangu. We've got push-ups into pull-ups, into bicep curls with like hammer curls. I'm going to do the 10s. And then dumbbell weighted toe taps, that's crunch. I'm in Scotland. So before I start, I'm going to put up a poll. I want to do one about mindset because I always try and think of them on the spot and like, let's keep it fun. Okay. Right. Do you give up on your fat loss goals frequently? Hi, Bob. Bob. Right, let's get started. So this is a fasted workout because I ate late last night. Thank you very much. Good morning, guys. Don't forget to vote on the poll. This is a Q&A as well. I'm answering questions that you have on. Hi, Zizi. On nutrition, back pain, rehab. Make sure you start your Fitbit. Strength training today with low rest. My name's Leanne. I'm a health and fitness trainer. Coming to full depth, feeling the stretch. Try not to rush through them. I've gone lighter weight because this is a warm up. Good. I'm going to do that again. Same weight, why not? Going for depth. So you want to make sure the dumbbell is in the midline of your chest at all times. Back flat, cores engaged. Count of 1 down. Count of 2 down and 1 up. And really important, make sure your elbows don't sag down. Stay in line with your wrist. Into skull crushers. Elbows tucked in, keeping the tension in the muscles, not the joints. There should always be a slight bend in the elbow. Don't go too heavy for these because you can get elbow pain. Good. Do that again, but add some weight. Grab a drink. Good morning, guys. You're a wellness coach too, that's cool. 2, 1. I teach coaches as well. Whew. So same again. To be patient with that arm. Skull crushers. I didn't look at what the next exercise was. Can't remember from memory. V-sit over dumbbell, was it? Ab work. Sneaking some ab work in. Tucking that tailbone under. Morning guys, I'm a health and fitness coach, Pilates and yoga teacher. Specialise in rehab, mindset. All them again, then we're adding on knees up crunch. Do like a knees up crunch. Do I ever straighten my arms in? Skull crushers, I'm guessing you mean. No, I don't. It might look like I do. There's always a small bend. You never want to work the joint. You want to work the muscle. So remember that with all exercises, even with squats and lunges. Morning guys, answering your questions on exercise, nutrition, back pain, rehab, mindset, habit forming if you're struggling. Tucking that tailbone under. I've got 2 children as well, ages 6 and 2. So if there's any mothers out there that are struggling with the rehab after the body's changed, knees up crunch. Got loads to help you on training your core after babies. A lot of changes can happen, like diastasis recti. Pause for a split second at the top for a squeeze. Good. Rest. We're going to do all that again, but in reverse. Good afternoon, Freshly. Good morning. Good morning, guys. 50-50 on giving up on fat loss goals, which is quite high, isn't it? Knees up crunch. Elbows and head all the way down for a nice stretch on the front body. Oh. Tucking that tailbone under, rib cage stays tucked in. Quality over quantity. Bam, bam. Hip flexors are still aching from a couple of days ago. See, I'm reversing it all now. Flies. Last flies and we're knocking them off. Coming all the way down, back flat. Morning guys, love a like and subscribe if you want fitness, motivation and education. My name's Leanne. I go live 6 days a week where you can exercise with me. Hello from North Korea. Hello from Scotland. Knees up crunch. Get them hips off the ground to work the lower core. Exhale coming up, your head's nice and supported. I'm not pulling on my head or neck. Wow. Ugh. Knocking these off now. Hi from Florida, hi from Scotland. Good morning, guys. Knees up crunch, 2 ab exercises. Or should I say 3 to finish? I like this one, it's nice and safe. Keeping that back flat. Oh. Want your tailbone tucked under. Sit-ups to finish. Finishing round 1. And round 2 has 3 pairs of new exercises. Rolling down 1 vertebra at a time with control. Let's finish round 1. Good. If it's burning, it's working. Zone 1 done. Welcome back to you too, freshly. No, I've not seen you for a bit, we've been busy. So we've got reverse flies in these. Let's see, I don't even know what our first pair is. Shoulder press and lateral raises with the 10. Back flat, core engaged. Shoulders down away from ears and chest proud. Lateral raises. Not going higher than shoulder height, as you can get a tight neck and upper trapezius, which causes shoulder issues in itself. Next round of exercises, we've got cable reverse flies and forearm taps. Love this one for upper posture, like correcting posture. We're going to pulse though, guys. Chest proud, core engaged. Think about the shoulder blades coming towards the spine. Neck back. Don't just bounce, control the pulse. Small bend in the elbows. Can do this with dumbbells as well. Forearm taps. So the weight of your head between your hands, elbows pointing behind you. It's like a plyometric exercise for the triceps. Just touching your elbows to the ground. Good, rest. Then we have Russian twist and Arnold. Oh yeah, I love Arnold press. Russian twists. Let's do it with a weight. Got a full kilogram, that'll do. Good morning. Leanne gets stronger as the stream goes. Stamina says thank you. Thanks, Freshly, for your support. Good twist for spinal flexibility and health. Make sure you tuck the tailbone under, but you're sitting tall in a Russian twist. Arnold. I like my Arnolds to stay from here to here. So I feel the upper back working hard. Keep the elbows up. I'm going to do them 3 pairs of exercises again. I'm going to get the 2s out for my lateral raises. So starting with shoulder press. Don't forget to vote on the poll, guys. Good morning, Curtis. Welcome back. How are you? It's 6:15 here. Where are you, Curtis? Shoulder press. Pairing it with lateral raises. Pause at the top, slowly come down. Don't go higher than shoulder height. Shoulders down away from ears. Wrists are fixed. Small bend in the elbow. What have we got next? Cable reverse flies or dumbbell if you've not got cables, and forearm taps. I'm good in California. I remember you saying that now. Very good, very nice. Reverse flies. Pulses, remember. Neck back, chest proud, core engaged. Keeping the tension. Think about the shoulder blades coming towards the spine. You'll feel this at the back of the shoulder as well. Forearm taps. Fast, fast, fast. Hips stay up. These might look strange. They're not doing much, but trust me, give them a try. And we've got, what's that? Russian twist and Arnold press. Morning guys, I'm a health and fitness trainer answering your questions on exercise, nutrition, back pain rehab. What's my AI doing? Right, Russian twist, tuck the tailbone under, sit tall. Full body workout this morning. Arnold press. I'm going to drop down to the 8s there. Struggling with the 10. Back to the start now, last time. So it'll be shoulder press and lateral raises. Again, not straightening the arms out. And for posture, I like to be over the head. Lateral raise. Morning, guys. Thanks, Ben. Whew. Reverse flies next. Reverse flies and forearm taps. Dumbbells with my road. Cores engaged, chest proud, neck back, head back even. Pulses, elbows up. Burny, burny. Oh. Let the burn subside and then do a few more reps. Oh, forearm taps. As many as you can. Fast, fast, fast. Oh. Ba, ba, na. Then we have Russian twist with Arnold press. I have got studio lights ordered as well. Others broke. Apologies about the lighting. I think it affects me more than you guys. Sitting tall, tuck the tailbone under. Ribcage stays tucked in. And enjoy the stretch as you're twisting. This keeps you mobile in your 80s. Make sure if you're not and you're working out, always include some twists. Arnold press to finish round 2. Oh. Good. Zone 2's done. Morning guys, welcome to my live. My name's Leanne, I'm a health and fitness trainer. Right, finishing zone. Minute on each, we've got push-ups. Let's see how many push-ups I can do. Push-ups, good morning. Push-ups. So let's start with full, and then we'll do plyo, and as a fatigue. Water. Oh. I'm gonna knock the jump out. When I'm halfway, I'll knock the jump out. It's only a little jump. Oh. Okay, I'm knocking the jump out. Chest to floor. Wow, I'm struggling with these today. We all have good and bad training sessions. This one feels like I'm really heavy. Chest to floor if you can. Just keep pushing them shoulders down away from your ears. Quality over quantity. Go for that. Morning. Hands are burning, huh? Arms. Right, pull-ups next. Oh, that hurt. Pull-ups, this will be a laugh. See how many I get these. We'll start under grip, then we'll go over. Overhand even first. I'm just not in the mood for trying anymore. I think that's what it is. That's all you've got to do. You've just got to keep trying, haven't you? Oh, that's halfway. Let's see if we can get a couple more. Let's do eccentric pull-ups. Come down as slow as we can. Wow. Oh my goodness.
20 seconds.
Turbo. Bicep curls, hammers. Let's start with the 10s. I think I'll get one, and then we'll move to the 8s. Right. Oh, I shouldn't have started with the 10s. Let's go to the 8s. That's not the 8s. You know what? I'm just going to go to the 4s. See how quickly I bail then. Morning, guys. Welcome to my live. Finishing my workout. Hope you're training first thing in the morning when you can as well. Final exercise is a core one, thankfully. All the way up, all the way down. Thanks for the support, Turbo. Morning, guys. I'm a health and fitness trainer, Pilates and yoga teacher, specialise in back pain rehab, female fat loss and rehab. So any questions, fire in the comments. Grab a drink. This is one of my new favourites, by the way, this next exercise. I find it really effective for the core. You can do anything at this point. Toe taps. Smell my legs. Trying to keep them as straight as possible. Halfway, got an itch. Last exercise, guys, come on. 9, 8, come on. Oh, that's bad. Well done. Oh, great to do something like that first thing in the morning. Oh yeah. Apanasana, and he's in for a hug and roll. Live workout this morning with Q&A as usual. Like and subscribe, guys, if you're wanting health and fitness advice and motivation. Let's see how the poll's doing. Don't forget to vote on the poll. That was a fasted workout. Oh. What will you lose? 1 minute break. What are you talking about? How often do you stream workouts? Hi, Bench. 6 days a week. Had a rest day yesterday. Turbo, 1 minute break is important. So I was doing metabolic conditioning, which gets you fit fast because you've got incomplete rest periods. So it's like a form of HIIT training, which I love. And you are not fat. Never said I was. I know I'm not fat. Morning, guys. What will you lose? I'm not looking to lose. I'm looking to build. Exercise gives me a lot. So I put a poll up this morning. Do you give up on your fat loss goals frequently? Stopping and starting when something doesn't go to plan, or when you overeat. If you keep stopping and starting, and you're not fully committed when you do that. So it's the mindset behind that. Morning, guys. Welcome. Let's put up a new poll. Good talking points these as well. What do you struggle with most? Obviously for fat loss. So exercise, knowing what to do. Nutrition, knowing what and when to eat. Mindset, I keep stopping. Habits, I think habits is quite self-explanatory. I thought that had stopped then. Good morning, guys. Welcome to my live. Answering questions on exercise, nutrition, back pain and rehab. Just had a good session there. Glad I got it done. To be honest, I wasn't that motivated for that. Because when I was writing that workout, I was like, what do I want to train today? And my legs are still sore from not yesterday, folks, cardio. And I'm training with mum today in the gym. It's like a wee day off for me. And I'm going to be practicing hanging leg raises and knee tucks for ab work. Because whenever I've done those kind of ab exercises before, they've been really ineffective for me, and I've been using my hip flexors. But now, as I repair my core from having 2 babies, I'm hoping to see some improvement in those kind of exercises. It's like V-sits. I was never able to do V-sits, V-ups and jackknives because it was my hip flexors that had overtake the movement, and my rectus abdominis, my 6-pack muscle, instead of the core exercises core muscles that should have been. Morning, guys. I can't believe someone's just donated £2 and said that. Well, thanks for the donation, but not for the comment. So let's see how the poll's doing. Good morning, guys. Oh, that's made me laugh anyway. Probably wouldn't make my boyfriend laugh, who's my moderator. Good morning. Welcome to my live. I'm answering questions on exercise, nutrition, back pain, and rehab. Don't forget to vote on the poll below. Interested to hear. So my poll is, what do you struggle with the most? Exercise and knowing what to do. Because a lot of people almost waste. No, I'll never say that exercise is wasting time, right? But if they're trying to lose fat, you shouldn't be focused on exercise. It's got different benefits. Nutrition, knowing what and when to eat. Nobody's voted for that yet. Mindset, I keep stopping. We've got 20%, and habits and habit forming, we've got 20% so far. Good morning, guys. Welcome to my live. I'd love a like and subscribe if you're in exercise and exercise education and motivation, as with nutrition. So I'm a health and fitness coach. I specialise in back pain rehab, especially for postnatal and ladies. Right, so what do you struggle with most? When I normally put up a poll about what do you struggle with most for fat loss, people usually put exercise. If you're trying to lose fat, you should be placing your efforts elsewhere in your steps. So that's where most of your calorie expenditure comes from. That's where most of your burning comes from your walking, and managing food. So I'll go into that in a minute. But as for steps, there's a lot of thought process at the beginning. Say if you're going from 3,000 steps and you're trying to reach 8 to 10k, you can't just go 0 to 100 because you're going to be hungry. It's going to take over your life. There's not going to be much enjoyment in it. It's a process, and making better dietary decisions. Yes. So mindset, Freshly. Okay, let's talk about what Freshly said. So Freshly said he struggles with mindset and making better dietary decisions. Make it as easy as possible for yourself. So I don't know where you live in your circumstance, right? But everybody's in an obesogenic environment, which means we've got food. We can go for food at any time. Highly palatable food, which means high fat, high sugar. There's the food companies right now are figuring out ways to get you to eat their product and to overeat on their product. So best thing to do is manage your environment. So if you live on your own, if you live with kids, like I said, I'm not sure, but whatever food, if you're overeating frequently, you're not broken. There's usually a reason that you're overeating. Either you've bought the food and you're hungry, and then you overeat on it. So have a look at meal timings. Don't make it too long in between when you eat, because that can cause overeating and loss of control. What is it exactly, Freshly, that you struggle with making dietary decisions? Is this when you're out with your friends, like eating out choices, or is it when you are never go grocery shopping when you're hungry? Is another one. Ordering stuff on repeat if you get a delivery. I have a lot of groin pain, but I don't know if it's age or form causing it. Groin pain can be caused from a weakness. Like, how often do you do side lunges? It's good for a stretch. So you should be able to get down a wee bit so you feel a stretch, hips back and over to the other side. If you feel intense stretch there, you're tight. If it's like it's shaking and it fatigues quickly, you're weak and you might be tight as well. When do you feel the groin pain? Is it when you're doing squats? When is it? Is it in the middle of the night? Single man during lunch at work. So yeah, lunch is a difficult one. I think because people eat breakfast in the morning at home and usually dinner sorry, let me get my top on. Both those meals are at home. Lunch around the obesogenic environment can be hard to do. Now, when you think that most people are overweight and don't exercise, and if you want to follow the crowd, don't meal prep, and if you want to become unhealthy, just do what everyone else is doing. The more strict, I've just put a post up actually on here in my posts. The more strange that you look in like prepping your food, because I struggled with lunch because I was on the road a lot, right? So I eat great breakfast, great dinner. It doesn't have to be a fantastic lunch, right? You can have more for breakfast and more for dinner. So I do these yogurt pots, I prep them. So You can add protein yogurt, but this is Greek yogurt with chia seeds. It's extremely filling. Look at that. It solidifies chia seeds. I've also added a little bit of honey, but you don't have to, and a bit of water to mix it. And then I have cider fruit. Now, normally I've half a honeydew melon or a watermelon. It's really filling. It's super low calorie and super filling. Super, super, super. So that's not just my lunch, because I'll have that, and then I'll have maybe a protein bar. I love my coffee. My new favourite. These are like £2 in Spain, but they're like £3.50, £4 over here. Dragon fruit. Absolutely love dragon fruit. So yeah, if good for you, Freshly, because if that's all you're struggling with when it comes to, you just have to concentrate on one thing. But sometimes when people come to me, they're like, I don't know what to eat, when to eat, how to eat. All my meals are like a struggle. But you've just said that you just struggle with your lunch. So you can zoom in on that and focus on that and try and improve it in a little way. A lot of people try and improve the already good days. Focus on what's not going so well. Usually the weekend, lunches are common, not getting steps in when you're out of a routine. And consistency in exercise and fat loss, the best way to get it is be like, you wake up in the morning, and maybe you've got food prepped or whatever, right? You wake up in the morning and like, right, what can I get done today? Especially if you've got like a 9-to-5 job, go out for some steps before you have your breakfast, and your reward is your breakfast or your coffee if you eat in the morning. You shower, make sure you're using rewards to, I know I should prep food, but Freshly, don't think that you've got to prep 5-6 times a week. Even just 2 or 3 times a week could massively impact in a positive way your fat loss or whatever you're trying to achieve. I don't do any, that's fine. Hi, David. After squats, I feel groin pain, near hip socket. Ooh, that sounds painful. So if you are lifting heavy, Pedro, I'd stop lifting heavy. It sounds like you're going too wide. So depending on your biomechanics, I've not had anything to eat or my coffee or anything yet. Sounds like you're going too wide. So try and bring your toes faced forward, your knees faced forward, your hips faced forward, and don't go down as far, because what is the point of squats, right? Squats are quad dominant exercise. So that's what you're trying to do. You're not trying to work the hip socket. So bear that in mind. You can also heel elevate. See, like little tweaks like that can help, but it sounds like it sounds like you've got an unstable pelvic girdle to me. The fact that it's all the weight's being transferred deep in that socket. So stuff like these are a good one to strengthen. If you are weak in the inner thigh, you might have your external, like your glutes might be strong and overtaking that as well. Give those a try. But best thing to do, if in doubt, go and see a physio and they'll diagnose it and they'll give you some exercises. So fibre and protein there. Yeah, not as much protein as I would like. I'm still working on it myself because I've got 2 kids. Life's upheaval. But yeah, if you struggle with overeating and managing hunger, get on it with your fruit and vegetables. You can also get hummus and like a load of veg. But sometimes we just need carbs, don't we? And I do enjoy like a nut bar with a coffee. It's my thing. How terrible is snacking? You really want to be in consistent meal times. We're not designed for snacking, I don't believe. I think it was marketed from the food industry to get us constantly eating and gluttony. Thanks, Scott. Morning. My moderator's on. So how terrible is snacking? So yeah, you want to give your insulin a bit of a break, and it gets that through meal timings. If you're constantly snacking throughout the day, it's very hard to track. You're constantly elevating blood glucose, so insulin's coming out. Insulin's not bad, but chronically high levels of insulin, like if you're snacking as well, you're not going to enjoy your meals as much. It's easy to overeat and it's harder to track. So yeah, I don't recommend snacking. Good morning. So let's see, 17 votes so far on the poll. What do you struggle with the most? We've got exercise and knowing what to do. So if you are, Jacob, tell me more about your overeating. Remember, guys, if you're overeating, you're not broken. Everybody, I overeat. Everybody, even with people with shredded abs, from sometimes they will overeat. They're just not sharing it on social media. You're not broken. It's totally normal, especially in the environment that we're in. And shit happens. Like if your car breaks down and you were meant to go home at 5 and have your ready prepped dinner, whatever you were having, your car breaks down, there's a delay, or you've missed your bus, and you get home at 6:30, you're raging, and you're over, like stuff like that can cause overeating. I don't think there's anything to be learned from those kind of situations. Shit happens, right? So what do you struggle with most? So people have said exercise. Exercise and habits are winning at the moment. Sorry, I thought it was funny how you said overeat. I thought you just couldn't spell, Jacob. Morning, guys. Welcome to my live. I'm answering any questions on exercise, nutrition, back pain, and rehab. Habits. I don't know how you think I'm pronouncing it with a double B, but anyway. I'd love a like and subscribe. I'm a health and fitness trainer, Pilates and yoga teacher. And I'm from Rochdale, so I'm a bit lazy with my words. Fun fact, when I drink alcohol, I even get even more lazy. Right, so people have said exercise knowing what to do. So exercise isn't for fat loss. If you're going from never exercising your life really, and then you're starting to exercise, you will burn a little bit of fat because the stimulus is new. Pedro, thank you for the advice. I will try bringing my form in. It does, yeah, it sounds like you're a bit wide. So that's your body feeding back to you on a positive note. Don't ignore your body's feedback. Your body's saying, oh, a little bit wide, let's bring them knees in a bit. I do like squatting heavy, up to 350. That's excellent, but I will chill. Yeah, I don't know how old you are, Pedro, but if you keep ignoring your body, that's an injury. And you won't be able to lift half that, and that for your mental health, don't know how, like just have a think about that, sit with that. If you keep going ignoring what your body's telling you, how will you deal with not being able to do any squats? Because it sounds like you really enjoy squatting heavy. I think you said that actually. I do like squatting heavy. I wonder where I came up with that. Yeah, so you enjoy squatting, it's part of your routine, right? It's your mental health. What will it feel like to not be able to do them? Quite crap, I imagine. So yeah, rein it in, mate. I'm skinny, probably underweight. There's not many people that are that anymore, is there? Oh, I've got to sneeze. I'm allergic to something in my house, I think. I've got a very sensitive nose, but it always looks dodgy when I'm on my life. I'm always touching my nose like I've just had something. Yeah, so as I was saying, you will burn at the start a little bit of fat as you you know, if you're using your muscles and your heart rate's elevated, you're going to burn some calories during exercise. But as you get into a good routine with exercise, you'll burn less and less, and you can't rely on exercise for losing fat. What are we talking about when we're talking about exercise? What type? I'm 6'3". So we're talking about strength training mostly. Strength training and getting good at strength training is one of the best skills that you can learn as a human. Don't put yourself down, Jacob. So a lot of people come to me and they've been strength training a while. They were seeing results, so we're feeling strong, they're getting more toned, and then it's stopped, it's plateaued. They've maybe hired a personal trainer, and still nothing. The body composition, the fat to muscle ratio hasn't really changed what's going on. See, all the time, people and the PTs aren't progressively overloading the clients or themselves. Therefore, they've plateaued pretty fast. So what do we mean by progressive overload? You need to make your workouts gradually get more difficult over time. Look at what Pedro was saying, how he's been building up his squat. You can't keep going in to the gym doing feeler sets. So I think last week I did 25 kilograms on this leg extension. I can't remember how many reps. It felt about 10. I'll do that again. No. You need to write it down. You need to be more specific, because if you do that, then you're just wasting time in the gym. If you want to get to A to B pretty fast. I'm going to block you because you're annoying me now. So exercise, yeah, strength training. So strength training reduces every risk of disease. It obviously builds muscle, right? and strength, and there's nothing more empowering, especially for women, building strength and feeling strong. Strength training reduces insulin resistance, diabetes, like every risk of disease, right? Keeps the brain healthy, keeps all the joints healthy, reduces risks of osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, and injuries. So that's what exercise is for. It's not for fat loss. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, right into the mic. So I'm glad exercise has gone down a wee bit. Habit forming. I'm going to sneeze again. What are people? So a lot of people, oh, you know what I should have put instead of habit forming? I should have put motivation, and then I could have gone into habits. As a society, we really put a lot of weight. Oh, I'm going to get a tissue. I've got the sneezes. Yeah. So as a society, we place a lot of weight on motivation. I've not got a cold, it's allergies. Thanks, Bella. I'll go into that in a second. I recently started to buy meal preps. Yeah, I've recently just said that to a client. And just a note on people buying meal preps, right? Because it's classed as processed food because there's stuff added to it, right? It's not what you would meal prep at home. So it lasts longer, right? You've got to. It's like when people say, "Oh, avoid all UPS, ultra processed food." Yeah, but if you're not getting any protein and you're barely eating and then you're binge eating late at night, if that processed food that you're buying is going to help you with your goals of fat loss mindset and give you a bit of confidence to know that you're able to do this, then I'm all for that. Just slowly start to improve your diet over time and reduce the UPS. Anyway, I digress. I recently started to buy meal prep, saves me time and prevents me from overspending. It's a great tool. I don't like to throw away money, so it helps me stay disciplined. Yeah, and it takes you out of the shops as well, because if you're meal prepping and you're constantly shopping for it a few times a week, you're going to overspend. Then enjoy what I eat on the weekends. Yeah, that's good. As long as you're not overeating on the weekends, you don't feel restricted. Well, I've not had that comment in a while, since last Christmas actually. I look like Lana Del Rey. So I was just going to go into habits there. So motivation comes and goes. You can't rely on it. What you can rely on is habits and routine. So how do we get to habits? You follow a routine. So you need to think, like no trainer can tell you this, no coach can say this, you've got to do the work. You know what your life looks like, you know your struggles. You need to learn about yourself. I know that I can't have you know those Terry's chocolate orange, but the mint version in there. Or as I will eat it all. I love how like fresh breath that you feel that you've got after it's high mirror. So instead I buy dark chocolate, and it's doing its purpose there. It's low in sugar, gives me a bit of sweet if I want it. I'm less likely to overeat on it. I know that because I've gone through my own trial and error. I know as soon as I've picked the kids up from school, bring them back, I'm starving. So how do I reduce overeating whilst I'm cooking our dinner? I'll have a can of CBD, you know, the trip cans. My necklaces are twisted. So it's working with yourself. Your mum should be telling you fat. Morning, guys. Bless you 3 times. Great questions. And if you're trying to build a habit, a routine, you need to practice doing it on a regular basis. So it's a skill. And it's not always going to go great. No progress is linear. Even with fat loss, you'll step on the scales and you've done everything right. You've done all the action, you've got your steps, all your food's been on point. But you'll step on these scales on Monday and you might have gained a pound. Why? It's usually water retention from inflammation. She say I eat too much rice. That's not really a question, but anyway. So you need to think when you're creating your own habits and your own routine, you need to think, right, I want to lose fat, or I want to be in the best shape of my life. What does that person look like? What habits am I doing right now that doesn't align with the person that would look like that and feel, because they're not just looking lean and muscular, they're also feeling fantastic, they're fueling themselves well, they're like all switched on up here. The more processed food you have, the more stupid you get, and sugar crashes and lethargic, tired, lazy feelings, you know. Should make me do stem, right? Let me know if you've got a question, W. Bye, Ellie. Morning, guys. I'm answering any questions on exercise, nutrition, back pain, and rehab. I'd love a like and subscribe. If you want fitness, motivation, and education, so I'm a health and fitness coach, Pilates and yoga teacher, here answering your questions. Tell you, whenever I wear this hairstyle, there's always someone who talks about wrestling or WWE or what's the other thing? UFC, is it? MMA, that's it. Morning, guys. I'd love a like and subscribe. How many times have you trained this week? Yeah, so have a think about what the person that you need to become, which is a slower process. No fad diet, quick fix, shiny thing can get you it or teach you it. This is why those start chasing the delayed gratification instead of the instant gratification. So your instant gratification is like Amazon Prime. You'll order something and it'll come a few hours later. That's like, or going to a shop and buying something, right? You get that dopamine hit. We're addicted to that. Delayed gratification is what comes in exercise. When you've put all the work in and you start to see the results, that's delayed gratification. You need to fall in love with delayed gratification and find ways that you can see instant gratification after meal prepping, after, doing the boring things, like exercise session that you didn't want to do. And where is that? So reaching your personal bests, like tracking your workouts, feeling fit and strong, feeling the endorphins. These are all instant gratifications. I like eating honey buns. I don't know what that is like. Bake assist, sorry, I'm not sure where that is. Relief exercises. I don't know anything about bake assist. Thanks, Pellet. Thanks for the donation. Let me have a look. Bake assist. What's your doctor said, first of all? Might have a different name over here, that's why I'm looking into it. Bake assist. Do you also work out in a gym or just these home workouts? What do you mean, just these home workouts? You know how much I died yesterday? Thank you very much, Pellet. Bake assist. Right. A fluid-filled lump on the back of the knee sounds painful. Might be better. It might go better on its own, but it's treatment. Yeah. I'd go and see a physio about that. What's your doctor said? Gentle stretches for the hamstring or calf muscles, AI has said. But I don't know anything about that. I don't know anybody who's had one of them either. So let us know if you've got any other questions. So, but AI says heel slide hamstring stretches as well as strengthening quads, so it's getting gentle movement to the knee area. Low impact aerobic exercises like stationary cycling and walking can also help, but it is crucial to consult your doctor or physio before starting any exercise to ensure it's safe and won't aggravate the condition. So yeah, so I've not heard of Baker Cyst. Morning, guys. Welcome to my live. I'm answering any questions on exercise, nutrition, back pain, and rehab. So we've been talking about habits. Mindset is so if you keep stopping and starting, if you keep giving up on exercise, if you keep overeating on a regular basis and letting it ruin your results of fat loss and building muscle, then you need to work on your mindset most of the time. That's what's going on, mindset. So we've got this massive thing where we think that we need to be perfect, we need to get all our steps in, we need to exercise so many times a week, we need to do this, do that, and when we don't, we're a failure. Mindset is a prerequisite to long-term behavioural change and fat loss and building muscle. Without it, you're never going to get anywhere. So it's common when people start out on an exercise and fitness regime, they'll go all in. They'll get okay, I'm going from 4K steps to 10K steps, and they'll get that for a week. And they'll track all the food, they'll get high protein, they'll get 4 or 5 exercise sessions in a week. And then by week 2, start to slow down. They're burning themselves out. And then when they're unable to keep that momentum up because it's taken over the life, because they've just put it in there instead of slowly added it on like a gear at a time, like you would on a bike, they've burnt themselves out and they think there's something wrong with them. So you need to be realistic when starting out. No problem, Pellet. Sorry I couldn't help you more. Morning, guys. How we doing? Right, well, lovies and leavers, don't forget to like and subscribe. Morning, Richard. I will be back tomorrow. What day are we on tomorrow? Today's Thursday, isn't it? Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow evening, about 5-ish. And we'll be training probably legs. I'm not gonna lie, I do love a leg session, as you probably know. But I'll go live 6 days a week. Whenever I'm training, thanks, Richard. I am answering your questions as well, and I'll put a poll up. But yeah, I'm here to bring value, reduce misinformation and disinformation on the internet. There's a lot of rubbish out there, like cortisol, menopause, like hormone balancing. There's a lot of rubbish that makes no sense. Hi guys, just catching up. Just block that weirdo before. Put him in timeout for 24 hours. Bye. Right, I'll see you tomorrow evening. Bye.